and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Appreciate everybody being here. As always, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern time. My name's Andrew David. This is Blake Newbar's High Performance Call. And you guys are here ready to rock and roll. Loretta and family dressed to the nines, apparently ready to go out to an executive event or something. I feel like I need to go put my jacket on more frequently.
No, we're always working early in the morning. We work early in the morning, so we're just getting back in.
Always getting it done. Well, good job, guys. All right. So, what I wanted to talk about, as I mentioned to you guys, I've been looking for, and I pulled up a pretty fantastic, in my mind, an awesome book about confidence, written by, let me pull up the authors. It is written by Katty K and Claire Shipman. They've got another New York Times bestseller. This is a great one. A couple of real interesting ladies. Now, confidence is something we've talked about a lot. Now, this book, if you guys haven't heard of it, The Confidence Code, is written for women. Okay. And it's written about confidence that women have in the workplace and in life and et cetera. There are some elements where they talk about, brain activity and genetically and some other things where science has shown that women interact differently with life than men do. Hopefully that's not a big surprise. And listen, I'm going to preface this by saying we're talking about certain elements of confidence that the authors share in this book. We're also going to talk about elements of confidence where we understand inherently, because all of us are big grown adults and we're not easily offended. We understand that there are outliers to this. And I'm not trying to pick on we're not even looking at stereotypes. We're just simply looking at numbers. But the reality of dealing with confidence and becoming an entrepreneur is not one that should be differentiated between men and women, because we all struggle with it. We all struggle with things like perfectionism. We all struggle with taking action. We all struggle with, taking the next step or learning or believing enough in ourselves to make something happen. We all struggle with that, right? Now, if you want to get a little bit more into it and you want to look at it, by all means, I think it's a great book. I've read portions of it. I haven't finished it. I've watched a number of trainings from Katty K and her co-author. But I love the training that's involved simply in the confidence element of this, right? And what we need to do to improve there. So I'm going to discuss, and I bring all this up because I'm going to discuss a couple of things that the authors share and things that scientists have shown with large enough studies where it actually makes sense. There's always exceptions to the rule. Just look at yourself, right? Gentlemen, put yourself in the same shoes. Women, just say, hey, is this talking about me? Do I need to improve? Is there anyone on here that feels like they could use a little more confidence in what they do? Just a couple of you, okay? And everybody else is just kind of either lying or fooling themselves. I guess that's the case. There is, all right, let me dive in. Let me kind of talk to some of these key points. So that's what the book looks like, guys. Confidence Code by Katty K and Claire Shipman. Great book. Couple of key elements. Confidence ultimately is the characteristic that distinguishes those who imagine from those who do. There's a great quote. There are thinkers, there are doers, and there are those that think they do, right? So which one are you? Is kind of what it boils down to. Where do you want to line up? So a couple of key takeaways from the book overall. Confidence is a connector between what we think and what we do. What we have and what we actually take action on. Stereotypes and innate differences between men and women can cause women to hold back. That's just the reality, right? When we look at things now, it doesn't mean that they're less capable, but it's what happens, okay? Confidence, however, can be learned even if we're not predisposed to it. Okay, so a couple of key things that we're going to look at. The bridge between our thoughts and our actions is confidence. When we lack confidence, we decide to stay inactive because you aren't totally confident that your efforts will be successful. You're scared to even try. Is there anything inherently more male or female about that? No, not at all. However, they've done some studies. So this is where I want you to place yourself. I feel bad that we have to put so many disclaimers on this. So I'm just simply sharing what was said. So men and women took an exam and they were asked to go through this quiz and answer, as many as possible. And time and again, the women were scoring lower than the men. Was it because they weren't as intelligent? No. When the experts went back and they studied it, they came to find out that on average, the women answered less of the questions than the men did because they were unsure, and so they left them blank. When they said, hey, go back and we're going to have you take it again, even if you're not 100% sure of the answer, fill it in anyway. At that point, they did as well or better every single time. There was no marked difference. Before, when they were acting out of unsurety, there was, and men were scoring higher. As soon as they just started answering, things leveled out. How many times have you kept from doing something simply because you weren't totally confident in a result? Over and over and over again. All of us have. Sometimes we just need to answer the damn question, whether we know the answer or not. Because in this thing called life, it's really all about that momentum. You're going to make errors. In your marketing, you're going to make errors. There's going to be things that are wrong, that don't convert as well. And that's okay. Quit trying to be perfect with it. That's part of the problem. We've talked about this recently. Perfectionism isn't something to be proud of. I'm a perfectionist. No, you're scared to take action. So stop it. Okay?
Shouldn't that be a goal that we should strive for anyway?
To be perfect?
Yes.
What do you guys think? I mean, without me just saying yes or no, positive or negative, shutting down or yes, absolutely. What should
Excellence, not perfection.
There you go. That's a great way to look at it. What's the difference between the two? What happens if I'm striving for perfection?
You never get there.
Yeah, what is perfect? It's pretty subjective, right? If I'm
perfect will be depending on who you're asking. Yeah. Everybody have their opinions.
Yeah, everybody's a little bit different. And you're going to be more stringent on yourself. Now, women typically are, because of that, the lack of women are, I think they said in this, the author, Katty K, said they looked at studies. Yeah, it's beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. Women have a 25% higher tendency to be perfectionists than men do. Because they want to be as good, because part of this is society. Part of this is society training. Women need to be better in order to compete, right? And it's sad that that's the case, but what happens, that spills over into everything. And so there's a higher tendency and guys, so I'm sharing some of this I'm taking straight from Katty K. I understand I am just a dude in his 40s, so I'm not trying to tell you women anything, okay? I've learned, I've had my mistakes, I understand this. I'm just trying to tell you kind of what's out there, all right? Take it as you will. Don't hold it against me. But women have a tendency to, feel like you've got to be perfect at work, and so you're less likely to speak up typically. You feel like at home, I've got to be perfect. The house has to be completely in order. Even though that's almost never a possibility, right? We feel like cooking has to be perfect. If you're working out, then your, warrior yoga pose has to be just as perfect as someone else's, and you're looking over there, or am I reading my scriptures as much as, Sister Johnson down the street? Am I volunteering as much? So, and this is always, whenever, if you want to look for someone that's busy to get something done, you look for a woman to do it, right? I mean, that's the reality, right? Find a single mom that's working and hand her something else and it's still going to get done, right? Those are the ones that they've got the kids, they're at home, they're working, they're volunteering for PTA, or they're volunteering at church, or they're volunteering at the gym, or they're helping out at this, and they're doing this and they're doing that. And it's just more, right? And we're just adding it up and trying to be perfect in every single thing instead of just striving to be better, going for excellence and improvement, right? What I'm going for in each and everything, I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday, right? Loretta, absolutely. Now, again, there are some men that are totally organized, but yes, but part of that's because I'm trying to be perfect. right? I can't handle the, chaos because everything else is going on. So it's got to be in order, because if it's not in order, then I'm also dealing with the other things. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, well, if my mom showed up right now, would she think XYZ, right? How many of you guys at some point have had, how many of you women at some point have done that because my mom never had a house like this, or if she walked in right now, or I'm trying to be better than my mom, right? Like there's always this innate competition. Men aren't as likely to do it. Maybe it's being lazy, maybe whatever, but it is what it is. Men are more likely to compete with others as opposed to themselves, right? So success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Excellent, Scott. Well done. All right.
Andrew.
Yes.
I agree with everything you said, except some people look for quality of things getting done, not just the fact that they got it done.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think it's more of a intelligence thing than anything.
I don't know if in intelligence, because you have IQ, you have EQ, level of intelligence is, I think, irrelevant to personally, I feel like it's irrelevant to the search for perfectionism and trying to just be better or thinking they're going to be perfect at all times, because we have people that are highly intelligent that still struggle with that, right? What we're simply saying is that oftentimes that pursuit of perfectionism or, being perfect gets in the way of confidence, right? Because when we're unable to hit perfect, confidence wavers. And confidence is going to be a bit different than our intelligence level, right? So
also though, confidence also depending on what kind of environment you have, you grown up.
Right.
That's a big factor.
That's what we're looking at here. So the genetic component. So not just men and women, but genetics. Think about it, guys. If you had parents that were highly confident genetically, that's anywhere between a 25 to 50% higher level of confidence normally, right? If your parents were confident, genes do play a role, but then environment plays just as much a role, up to 50%, right?
Yes.
How you were raised and where you are currently can have an influence. Who you spend time with, right? We've talked about this, your network. All of this plays into it. Think about where you're at and what needs to happen and what environment you're in and how that is playing into the confidence. Here's something important to remember, and this has happened over the course, especially the last maybe 35, 40 years. Confidence is not about self-esteem or feeling good about yourself. That is not confidence. Confidence is a belief that you can get what you want by taking action. And as I take action, I will become better and better and better. It doesn't mean I feel good about myself, right? This idea of self-esteem and, we want to work on our self-belief and confidence in ourself. Confidence in our capabilities comes only through taking action. You cannot be confident in your ability to achieve something until you've had time to practice and develop the capability. Does that make sense to everybody? You can't be confident in your abilities to do something until you've tried it over and over and over again. My ability to hop on these calls and to stand up and deliver content for 30 minutes to an hour a day. My ability to, walk into an environment, and if they, I know I could walk into an event just about anywhere in the world. And if they were to hand me a mic and said, Andrew, you got 30 minutes or an hour, we need content that this audience is going to listen to. I'm confident in my ability to walk up and deliver content that people would pay attention to at the level of just about anybody. I may not be jumping around the stage like Brendan Burchard or Tony Robbins, but I know I can deliver a message that would touch some people and cause them to take some action. That doesn't come because I've always thought that that's who I was and what was there. It's because I've practiced over and over and over again. All of you are employed or involved in different activities that I would feel like an idiot trying to do. completely incompetent, no confidence at all. But because I've gone through this process enough, I know that if I were to walk in and start the work, that I'd be able to put myself in a position to succeed. Outside of, medicine, being a doctor, some of those things, like that would take much, much longer. But just about everything else doesn't mean I'd be as good as you are, but I would be able to become confident and get things done simply from practicing and becoming capable. And a lot of you guys are stepping into an online role or your online business, and we're comparing immediately to all of these other individuals that have already done it. They've already been through the ups and downs and everything else, that have put in dozens or hundreds or in some cases thousands of hours of not just study but work, because this is where confidence comes in, right? Too much study creates arrogance. Study with action creates confidence. Would anybody like to argue with me on that? How many times have we run into a professor with all of the education in the world, real world experience, it just doesn't hold up?
It depends on the person. If too much study makes you cocky, you're probably still on the stage where you don't understand that there's still so much more to discover, and you're perhaps making up for something. What I'm talking
about is the pursuit of knowledge with no intention to ever put it into action. You can become highly intelligent, and some of those people are humble. But what I mean is if I were to sit in a room with people that have the study, right, but have never done, there are going to be ideals that it's like this simply because they read it, versus take them and put them into the workspace, and there's going to be a transition for them before the capabilities are truly there, right? In many things. Obviously, there's outliers. Obviously, there's things, if it's engineering and mathematics, I can go into a situation and the mathematics are still going to work, right? I'm not talking about that. But there is a difference, right? There is. Guys, if you want to be confident, this is where we talk about education and execution. You've got to be able to get after it yourself and take action and create momentum. Brandon's saying perfection is setting unrealistic goals. You don't achieve your goals, you achieve your standards. Yeah, it's a great quote. But so part of that's the unrealistic, not just goals, but expectations or time, or if your goal is perfection. We've talked about this with ideals versus actuals. I've done trainings on that, so you can see them on YouTube. We'll end up talking about it at some point, but there's got to be action involved if you want to truly gain confidence for yourself, right? And that's kind of what I'm holding to. So a couple other quick things. So mastery comes from mastering a skill. It doesn't mean trying to be perfect. It means enjoying the challenges and not letting the obstacles stop you. Okay. A couple of things then to start to develop confidence. One thing is noticing your self-talk, guys. Real simple here. Why do I still have so much left to do? What's wrong with me versus, I'm doing pretty well considering how much I have on my plate right now. Man, I'm glad I'm getting something done each and every day. The obstacles are still there, but I keep myself moving forward. The key is constant movement. So you guys want to be confident, right? She talks about it in the book. They talk about it in the book, Confidence Code. It's an absolutely fantastic book. Man or woman, read it. It's worthwhile. Understanding confidence is important. Now, I've done trainings on confidence before. How I put it together, the way I kind of think of that process. I'm going to give you a quick, here's the 5 C's. I'll end up doing another training at some point. But the 5 C's of confidence, guys, really boils down to, for me, these elements. The first one is clarity. Clear goals that are realistic. I know what they are. I know what I'm going after. I know what kind of time frame. I know what I'm willing to do. Clarity. Next comes commitment. It is hard to commit to your goals, to your life, to your business, to a relationship, to whatever it is without being clear about what it is you're trying to do. Some of you guys are trying to commit to this and your goals are, I don't know. It'd be nice if, like, they're all over the place. Think about a relationship. How do you commit to a relationship if your partner is unable or unwilling to give you clarity on what the expectations are? So clarity, commitment. And when I say commitment, I mean I'm committed. I'm going to do whatever in the hell it takes to get me where I'm going because, damn it, I'm super clear on what I want. Next comes courage. Because once you're clear, once you commit, guys, you're going to be afraid. You don't have confidence yet. We want it. We want it to begin with. It doesn't work like that. But courage comes into play because you have to be willing to work through those moments of fear. After you start to do that and you're taking action, then we become capable. You start to become capable after you're clear, after you commit, after you're doing it, whether you're scared or not, you're doing it. And we start to become capable. As your level of capability increases, so too will you begin to experience some confidence in yourself and in your own abilities to see something through. Each and every day, every single step, every action that you take increases your level of capability and increases the confidence that you have in yourself, not just for your ability to perform a task, but your ability to complete it. That's why something like an achievement, what I accomplished at the end of the day as opposed to a to-do list, that's why things like that are so beneficial, because as you increase your capability, then confidence arrives. And you will become more and more confident in your ability to do something. And guys, once you experience that level of confidence, because you're capable, once you experience that as an entrepreneur, as an individual, in anything that you do in life, you know what the next thing you should do is? Okay, those are your 5 C's. We have commit, clarity, commit, courage, capability, and confidence. Once you hit that confidence, you know what the next thing you should do is? Challenge yourself. Do something else that scares you. And understand that's just going to be how things roll. Some of you guys have some pretty big goals. And in order to achieve them, that process you are going to go through many, many times. You'll get to that first, 100K that you've generated and things are rocking and rolling and you're confident and you're rolling and things are happening. And now it's time to do something else. Now it's time to take the stage, as it were, whether it be as a personal coach or creating your own course or adding more funnels or doing this or doing that, whatever it may be. And you're going to walk into it going, I got this. I know how to do everything. And then you're going to experience that little bit of fear and you're going to go, well, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe it's not the right thing for me. Maybe I shouldn't take that extra step. Maybe I shouldn't invest that extra time, effort, money, whatever it is. Recognize now, understand now, guys, you are going to go through this process of developing confidence over and over and over again. Over and again. But you can develop that confidence for yourself. Man or woman, single or in a relationship, parent or not, you're all capable of doing some amazing things. If you're clear and you commit and you act with courage, develop the capabilities, and then you'll have your confidence, right? So on that note, Scott, I'll do me a favor, message that to me so I can hit it. But yeah, you start all over with the 5 C's. That's just how it works, guys. Go out and challenge yourselves. Figure out where the confidence is that you need to be. Some of you guys are still stuck in the clarity and commit stage. Be clear about what you want and then decide you're going to commit to it and then take some freaking action, because it's the only way you start to build up confidence. And on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Go out and be fantastic, guys.
Andrew, do you prefer email or direct message?
Yeah, you can shoot me an email.
Andrew, I already shoot at you.
Okay, good. Yeah, send it over. I'm rolling. I got an appointment, but I'll be looking at emails here in a couple hours, guys.